Okay, we're here at GDC 2013. We're with Jani. Is that how you pronounce it? Did I get it right?
Yeah, it's Jani from Secret Exit.
Jani from Secret Exit did Zinbound, Stair Dismount, iLord.
iLord, yes.
Yeah. So today we're going to be looking at the next iteration of Stair Dismount. Would you call it a sequel, or is it more of like a evolution, or?
Let's call it Turbo Dismount Alpha.
Turbo Dismount. I love the name. So Turbo Dismount Alpha, and so go ahead and tell us about the process of the original Stair Dismount on iOS was it came out a long time ago. It was built on kind of some older hardwares in mind, and so you've moved past that now, and now you're using Unity.
Yeah, Stair Dismount has a really long track record of steady updates of new level bundles and so forth, but they got really ambitious, but the technology under it wasn't really scaling to that, to what we wanted to do with it. And we got acquainted with Unity, and this is now our first project that we're kind of going to run all the way through to have a game out there. And it's really good.
So you can see, like right off the bat, and can I pan around a little bit with this guy?
Sure.
You can just see it's like leaps and bounds even over the original, which still had like a really cool. It seemed like a really technically advanced kind of game with all the ragdoll physics and stuff like that. But then you look at like these environments, and there's breakdancers, there's people walking around. It's really bright and colorful compared to like kind of the stark backgrounds of the original.
Yeah,
and I think it looks really good.
Thanks. Now that you said that, I have to say that we're not done with the visuals yet.
Okay.
Right now it's very Katamari Damacy kind of inspired, this sort of 8-bit look. And it may not be the final look.
Right.
We're still looking into it. Because Stair Dismount was always about abstract visuals and kind of implied violence.
Right.
And ultra-realistic sounds. So it leaves a lot to your imagination.
Yeah.
And that's... Yeah, there's a lot of technical stuff that you can see here in the video that we don't have in original Stair Dismount, like real-time shadowing, a lot more complexity to the scenes. Mr. Dismount can now be animated, so he can be walking down the street, and then we can have things happen around him and not just directly to him.
Oh, cool.
And so, it's really, because what you're seeing right now is more of a technical proof of concept for ourselves. So what can we do with a new engine, a clean slate, and what can we make happen? And so here's kind of let's start by pushing our Mr. Dismount down on the. Well, that didn't go too well. that was hard to climb. Oh yes.
No, here comes the scaffolding.
Yeah. So we can have a lot more dynamic stuff happening. We have bystanders that react to stuff falling around them, so they kind of start panicking and walking around. We're bringing in different starting positions.
Oh, cool.
Let's see if I can do.
So he's like trying to change the light right now.
Yeah, and now he's going down.
Oh man, this game is messed up. I love it.
Thanks. So let's just kind of swap to a different scene here. Let's go to the pool side.
Okay.
So, we did have kind of a swimming pool in Stair Dismount 1 as well, but the water wasn't liquid. It was just a solid surface, which was kind of fun for for what it was. But now we can do stuff like, more reactive, more physical. Like the board itself is kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of swaying. And
it's triggering these different... we can make stuff happen when Mr. Dismount does something, and it's fun to play with new stuff, to be honest. So again, you're not seeing the final game; you're seeing what we've been playing around with, and see what we can do.
Well, it's a good sign if you're having fun just playing around with it, right?
Yeah. So we can have buoyancy. So we can have water.
Oh, cool.
And again, stuff happening to and around, and we can't wait what kind of all stuff and messed up situations we can put Mr. Dismount in. But the guidelines where we are, it's kind of, Mr. Bean. So it's all about I mean, it's not a rigid guideline, but we still want to make it feel like that it could happen to you. It's the embarrassing accident
Yeah.
where everyone kind of can imagine to be in.
Right.
And so, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So you might fall off a high dive one point in your life, and this might be how it goes.
This
You might hit every diving board on the way down.
that too. You can kind of experience the things that you would not want to.
Yeah. I love all the stuff in the background. Is that a cop?
Oh yes, we have.
Patrolling the pool, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
at one point our bystanders were kind of even reacting to each other, and that led to really embarrassing situations. To be honest.
I'm going to take over. I want to give him a push myself.
Okay.
I'm going to try and nail this other board over here.
You can.
Feels like you actually can get really close in there compared to the last game where sometimes you felt like you wanted to position it just so and you couldn't quite get that precision.
Yeah.
It feels like you might be able to get that here. So he actually hits the bottom of the pool, huh?
Yeah, we're trying to make that pool maybe a little bit more shallow.
Yeah. Man, he just floats there. That's creepy. Okay, and is there a third level too that you can show us, or do you just have the two going right now?
We have a third level, but that is even rougher than what you're seeing right now. This is just technical. Oh, excuse me, the wrong level. Here we go. So it's all about testing what different stuff can happen. So this is really.
Whoa.
It's not my day job. Yeah, I mean, that's like.
What is it? Is it like a chairlift or something?
It's a chairlift, but I mean, oh my god. Let's push him again and hope he stays on, stay on. Here we go.
No. Oh, wow.
I mean,
A giant pile of mailboxes, okay.
yeah, I mean, it's all about kind of finding the performance of what we can do.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the fun, because, again, all Stair Dismount is so static.
Yeah.
And there's very limited things moving.
Right.
And we've been really surprised at, like, let's throw more stuff in there and see how big piles of stuff we can make collapse.
Yeah.
And this is, again, technical testing, but once we get into the swing of things, more like scaffoldings and...
Yeah.
But-
I love that, where there's so many things that you can interact with.
Yeah. So, I don't have a release date yet, or even this kind of a fixed idea of what the game is going to be.
Right.
So there's more potential of what it can be.
Sure.
And yeah, I think we can make more bigger and better than we did before.
Well, when you look at how the original Stair Dismount kind of progressed from being a pretty basic little set of levels of basically just different kinds of stairs, and then now to the latest levels where there's all these moving parts and all these complex situations that you have your Mr. Dismount in, seems like this is like cranking that way up to 11 in this version. So even if it's early, it looks really good. So thanks a lot for stopping by and showing it to us.
No, thank you.
Cool.